It's quite unsafe for a woman to live in this world. The crimes against them are increasing day by day. They depend on and truly believe the cops to save their lives. But what if the same cops become the predator? Do you think there are perverts in the police department? Are they more dangerous than the criminals? On number 3, we have Braulio Gonzalez.
On the wrong side of the law, accused of a despicable crime.
This veteran officer allegedly fondled a little girl, and that child is no stranger to him.
Braulio was a resident of Miami, dated and was a veteran police lieutenant. The heinous act took place in 2018 when he kidnapped and molested a child. The survivor was a child who was related to him. He took advantage of their family relations and molested the girl since she turned 8 years old. He continuously abused her for 2 years. At last, the survivor spoke out, and the real fact of Braulio was revealed. When the survivor was just 8 years old, Gonzalez took his gun and pointed it at her. She was then made to comply with his conditions, and then he kept on molesting her till her parents came back home. He threatened her several times after that to make sure she doesn't utter a word to her parents. The poor child was traumatized and she lived in fear till 2018. When the case was taken to court, it was revealed that Braulio used to take the girl to his home as well and made her strip down all her clothes before him. He then touched her private parts forcefully. Her screams were silenced by that television's volume, and she was mentally broken by this heinous act of this pervert officer. As the case continued in the court, another child came forward, speaking out about what Braulio did to her as well. She survived the perverted act of this veteran officer. He used to creep her out by watching her shower. She was only 9 years old at that time. Braulio showed aggression towards women in general. He attacked 3 of his ex-girlfriends. They all suffered severe physical injury. He used to hit them repeatedly and broke the nose of one of his ex-girlfriends. They all came forward after hearing about the case where he molested a minor. They were all happy that finally the world got to see the real face of Braulio. The acts of Braulio did not suit that of a police officer. He has to treat people with respect and make sure that they are living life safely. But instead, his predator behavior was shown to the minors. He targeted them and molested them for years. He held a 9-year-old girl at gunpoint and molested her brutally. When the decision of the court was declared, everyone was beyond shocked. They never expected Braulio to walk free. Well, he was not fully free, but the court ordered a house arrest that too paid leave from his job. The court turned a blind eye to his wrongdoing. He was overjoyed as he thought that he escaped the prison, but fate had another plan. After a long legal battle, Braulio got the punishment he deserved. He was sentenced to jail. He would serve life in prison. Braulio never expected to receive such a punishment. He thought that he could evade the law of the country and take advantage of many other children. None of his plans worked, and you can see the aggression and disappointment on his face. The prosecution lawyer Natalie Cinder called Braulio a dangerous person, and the world agrees with her. He could hurt a lot of girls if he roamed around freely with the power of a police officer. Braulio never apologized to the survivors. He had no remorse, and he stood there in court being proud of his deeds. He was given several opportunities to apologize, but he refused every single one of them. He didn't want to show that he regrets it. On number 2, we have the Timothy Sadler Jr. Polk County Police Department received a call from a mother of a 9-year-old to file a complaint regarding the inappropriate photos she found in her daughter's phone. The mother was beyond shocked when she found nude photos of a man in her 9-year-old child's phone. She wanted to file a complaint as soon as possible and find out the sender. The Polk County Department didn't have to spend time investigating, as they soon realized that the criminal they were looking for was one of them, but an officer of another department. They couldn't believe that such a person was working for the state to ensure safety. Well, he was not in his right mind and forced a 9-year-old to send her nude photos. What kind of police officer would say such a thing? Sadler met the child on an interactive online game platform. The Wolf was the game they played, and Sankey talked to her in the name of Jade, an 11-year-old kid. The poor child didn't realize the trap she was setting foot on. Sadler planned to get nude photos from her and threatened her to meet with him for a sexual encounter. He made a detailed plan step by step, and he just needed to work it out. He created multiple accounts and names to talk with the child and earn her trust. Apart from Jade, Sadler created a profile pretending to be a 31-year-old Jason. He talked to the child, introducing him as a close friend of Jade's father. The child believed him as Jade confirmed that it was her dad's close friend. The child didn't know that behind the screen, it was Sadler who talked to her and not Jade or Jason. Both these people were creations of Sadler, and they didn't exist in real life. Sadler slowly started grooming the girl. He talked through the account of Jade and told the girl that she has a sexual relationship with Jason and it's fun. The girl was uncomfortable at first, but believed the 11-year-old Jade. He started sending pornographic images to the girl from the account of Jason and started talking to get in a sexually explicit way. He thought that she would soon fall into the trap and meet up with him. The 9-year-old survivor started sending her nude photos, and Sadler was happy to see her falling prey to him. He stored all the images to use against her in the future. During this time, he was going to his office and acting as a good police officer. No one suspected him and everyone believed him to be this ideal man. They were all unaware of what he does behind his bedroom walls. The 9-year-old child's older sister found out about the sexually explicit texts and pornographic images Sadler sent her. She informed her mother. She called the police immediately. Sadler was arrested and fired from his job immediately. On number 1, we have Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith was working in the Washington State Patrol. He fell for the sting operation and was caught red-handed. In 2022, Trevor was looking for new prey. That's when he met a mother of 2 who was ready to go into an agreement with Trevor for him to have sex with her 2 children, who were only 6 and 11 years old. Trevor was so happy as he thought he would get 2 children to sleep with that too, with their mother's consent. The undercover female officer, who pretended to be the woman selling her kids, realized that Trevor was a pedophile. The Seattle Police Department wanted to catch pedophiles, and they made the undercover police officer place an ad. Trevor was interested in it and contacted the mother without knowing that it was a sting operation. During the conversation, the undercover police officer asked what he would give her in exchange for abusing her 2 children, to which Trevor replied that she could sexually abuse his 9-month-old son. The police department was shocked to read the text, as they can imagine all Trevor would have exchanged for his son. He was unfit to be a father and shows no mercy to his child. Trevor showed up in a hotel room and the undercover police arranged for him as he thought he would sexually abuse 2 children. He even came to the room with contraceptives, which shows that he was prepared to sexually attack 6 and 11-year-old children. Trevor was fired from his job and was sentenced to 10 years in prison, after which he would be released, but he will be under the supervision of the police for 15 years. Do you think this kind of police officer should be declared unfit for service? Should they be punished brutally? Let us know in the comments.
On July 16, 2019, Deborah Hamill, a 65-year-old grandmother, was stopped by Officer Massini from the Cashion Police Department. The reason for the stop was a broken taillight on her truck while she was driving in Cashion, Oklahoma. The subsequent exchange between them is recorded by Officer Massini's body camera. After Ms. Hamill declined to exit the vehicle, Officer Massini proceeded to remove her forcefully, resulting in her being thrown to the ground. He then made an attempt to handcuff her. However, Ms. Hamill resisted by refusing to place her hands behind her back and kicking Officer Massini.
How long ago has it been like that?
Probably about 6 months.
Oh, okay. Well, you've had plenty of time to get it fixed.
I've driven up here a lot.
Live here in town?
No, my name's Hamill. I live out on Highway 74.
Hamill, huh?
Yeah, Hamill.
Related to Hank?
I'm his mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, busted taillight seems to be a pattern with the Hamills.
Well, y'all had a headlight out on one of your cop cars the other night.
We did?
In response, Officer Massini backed away and drew his taser. When Ms. Hamill tried to stand up, he discharged the taser, invoking Section 643 of the situation. Ms. Hamill was informed that her decision to flee had exacerbated her legal predicament. Subsequently, she faced charges of eluding, resisting arrest, obstructing law enforcement, and assault and battery on an officer.
Just looking for it.
Can you at least get the light?
They've got lights on them, don't they? They do have lights in them, and they do work.
Well, it's broken.
Yeah, I know it's
So
broken.
if you hit your brake lights, that white bulb's going to blind somebody at night.
Oh, okay. Well, can I put red tape on it? Does that work?
Yeah, but I don't think red tape's going to help you there. You don't have enough plastic to tape over.
Well, you know, I kind of hate to buy one if I'm going to get the whole bed and it's going to have everything on it.
I gotcha.
You know, I just don't want to spend the money.
I understand.
And, you know, I don't drive it to Texas. I don't drive it in the city. I go to Guthrie and Kingfisher. I'm going right now to check on cattle.
Okay. Well, I did issue for a defective equipment. It's $80. You have till September 16th.
In this scenario, it is evident that at least one of Miss Hamill's kicks connected with Officer Massini's leg, an action that a court would likely categorize as both an assault and a battery resulting in harm. Following her arrest, Miss Hamill declined medical attention but was taken to the ER for assessment before being sent to jail. Court records reveal that she was charged with assault and battery on a police officer, resisting arrest, obstructing law enforcement, and operating a vehicle with defective equipment. She pleaded guilty to the misdemeanor charges, with a felony charge dropped as part of a plea deal. Miss Hamill received a 4-year deferred sentence and was fined $50 for each count.
God!
Do not take off.
Shut up and give me that and I'll sign it.
Step out.
No.
We're beyond that.
Do you want me
Step
to...
out. 305 dispatch. Got one taken off. See your heads! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
to me.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
After her arrest, body camera footage circulated on social media, leading to a city council meeting with over 50 attendees discussing the incident. Some supported the police department, while others protested Miss Hamill's treatment. Miss Hamill's attorney criticized Officer Massini's actions as unnecessary and tormenting, suggesting potential legal actions. Officer Massini was graded a C- for his professional demeanor, but also criticized for using a taser on an elderly woman. While his actions might be legally defensible, it was deemed excessive. Miss Hamill received an F for non-compliance, attempting to flee and resisting arrest. Despite reservations about the taser use, her conduct created a constitutional basis for it. Choosing not to contest the citation resulted in multiple convictions on her record, instead of addressing the issue legally. Now let's move on to the next investigation where an officer gets suspended.
Star EMS, taser deployed, one female, custody.
Why didn't you just sign the damn ticket?
Because I felt like you were there with me, because I have been in jail forever with this thing. I went on go through and get a damn thing for her. Oh.
Do you realize you just got yourself in a whole lot more trouble?
On the morning of April 19, 2023, Officer Scott Harrell from the Texas City Police Department approached driver Christopher Scholl at a pump within a Buc-ee's gas station. Officer Harrell alleged that Scholl had swiftly maneuvered through parking spaces, prompting a white truck to abruptly brake in order to avert a potential collision. The ensuing exchange between the two was recorded by Officer Harrell's body camera. Officer Harrell remarked that if he had not already exhausted his supply of tickets, he would issue Mr. Shaw a citation for disregarding a traffic control device. This statement was made despite the fact that the reported infraction took place on private property.
The reason why you felt you needed to come through the parking lot like that?
I didn't think I did anything wrong. I just came over to get gas.
You were speeding and you cut through parking spaces. You know you can't do that.
I didn't think I was doing anything, man.
You
all I was coming to get gas.
Yeah. Oh, are we gonna go back and forth, or are you just gonna?
You asked me a question. You want me to answer it or not? I'm not. If anything, I thought I was going even slower than normal.
No, sir.
Because normally people don't even park where you park, and that's the direct path to the gas pump.
You almost hit that car that was turning right there. I was watching, man. As soon
didn't
as you
almost
cut
hit
in front of me
anybody.
like that, I was like
Okay.
looking and I watched it happen. So
I come here every day. There's almost never, ever anybody. So yeah, I go through there because it's the straight path.
On April 19, 2023, Officer Scott Harrell of the Texas City Police Department approached Christopher Scholl at a Buc-ee's gas station, accusing him of driving recklessly through parking spaces, causing another vehicle to brake suddenly. After being cited and released, Scholl obtained body camera footage and posted it on his YouTube channel, which gained traction on other platforms. In response to public backlash, Texas City Police Chief Joe Stanton announced an internal investigation by the Office of Professional Standards into Harrell's conduct, with the potential for criminal charges.
Every day when I come through.
okay, look, I'm not gonna write you tickets, but the only reason I'm not writing you tickets is because I'm out of tickets right now. Okay, otherwise you would be receiving a citation.
For what?
Okay.
What did the citation? I'm just curious.
Disregarding traffic control device.
On private property?
Yes.
Okay.
You still can't do that.
Harrell was placed on administrative duties during the inquiry. Scholl's citation was later dismissed, and he revealed plans for civil action against the department through online campaigns. While the surveillance footage remains undisclosed, Scholl's actions were commended for complying with Harrell's orders while respectfully dissenting.
So, I'm not going to write your ticket.
I hear you, man. I understand.
I don't appreciate the attitude. Two, I get it. You're upset. Nobody likes cops pulling up on them. Nobody likes it. Okay, but you know you did wrong. You know you're not supposed to cut through the parking lot. And instead of being like, "Oh yeah, I messed up. Sorry, it won't happen again," you want to sit here and go back and forth with them.
There's a lot better things than this to be doing for you, man.
You're right. I was working on a report.
You can be over here, and there's people right now running 90 miles an hour on the thing.
You want to go to jail?
So
you want to go to jail? You could go to jail for this.
You can do what you want to do. I can't stop.
I don't want to take you to jail.
No.
That is definitely a waste of my time. Okay, but the attitude is not necessary.
I agree.
That's on your part, sir. I haven't been rude to you at all. I will get in trouble. You go file a complaint, get me in trouble. Write me up.
I'm not worried about that.
All right, well, I'll make sure that I'm there all the time. If I see it happen again, then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'll look that law up on private property. I don't believe you'd have the authority to do anything here on this parking lot like that.
I could also take you to jail for Class B reckless driving because you did almost hit that car.
The encounter highlighted the complex interplay between free speech rights and lawful arrests. The incident underlined concerns about retaliatory arrests and Supreme Court precedent's impact on individuals seeking justice.
You can do what you want to do, Harold. I can't stop you. If you want to be this way, then that's up to you. I'm trying to be a reasonable person.
Are you having a bad day, sir? Is there a reason why you're acting like this?
I'm having a bad day because
you're
doing this to me. I think this whole thing is ridiculous.
What do you think is ridiculous?
That we're even talking about nothing happened. And here we are talking, and you're threatening to take me to jail.
Well,
and so I shouldn't be getting upset?
I don't call it a threat, sir.
No, it's a threat. That is a threat. You're threatening me under color law now to take something on private property, which I don't believe you even have the authority to do.
It's a dictionary term, sir.
Okay.
It comes from Black Law's
No, it's
dictionary.
not. It's a Class A misdemeanor for you to threaten to arrest me over something that you know is not really true. But that's okay.
What's the penal code on that, sir?
The commentary supported Scholl's decision to legally challenge Harrell's conduct and encourage him to persist in pursuing a civil lawsuit.
Oh, this is a problem.
How is it a problem?
I feel like you're going to continue to commit these behaviors that are unsafe and put people at risk.
So
you don't feel like you did anything wrong.
Something that's possible they may do in the future. So now we're playing Jean-Claude Van Damme future cop, and you need to stop me from something I may do in the future. That's now your position.
What is the law designed to do, sir?
Oh, I know you want
designed
compliance.
to stop people from doing things that they're not
voluntary
supposed
compliance.
to be
I know you want voluntary compliance.
Okay, go ahead and put your hands on your back.
Wow.
It emphasized the importance of respectful communication and lawful conduct in encounters with law enforcement. In this case, a Good Samaritan's act of helping a crash victim resulted in his arrest by a police officer, leading to a significant lawsuit settlement. On September 22, 2019, Preston Sal and his companions came across an injured man trapped under a crashed motorcycle in Loveland, California. Mr. Sal and others rushed to assist the victim while emergency services were called. Officer Paul Ash from the Loveland Police Department arrived on the scene and began questioning Mr. Sal about the incident. Although Mr. Sal cooperated and provided information, Officer Ash insisted on further questioning and asked him to step away from the scene. However, Mr. Sal exercised his right to remain silent and refused to speak to Officer Ash as he was not a witness to the incident. Officer Ash, without legal authority, threatened Mr. Sal with arrest for obstruction if he continued to refuse. Under Colorado law, Mr. Sal's actions did not constitute obstruction.
Where is the bike at?
Bike's parked down on the side, yeah.
Officer Ash proceeded to forcefully restrain Mr. Sal, leading to physical altercation resulting in severe injuries, including a dislocated shoulder, a fractured collarbone, and a torn rotator cuff. Despite knowing that Mr. Sal had no involvement in moving the motorcycle, Officer Ash still insisted on questioning and arresting him.
Okay, you might come and talk to me?
I don't know what happened.
Well, you pulled the bike
I'm
off
not talking
him.
to nobody.
Really?
These guys saw what happened. I did not.
If you're not talking to anybody, you can leave.
Well, you can leave. You're dismissed.
We
No.
can't leave.
We can't leave. I'm not leaving.
Okay, then come and talk to me.
No, I'm not going to come talk to you.
After the incident, Officer Ash's body camera footage revealed that another bystander had moved the motorcycle.
I'm not going to come talk to you.
Police officer, man. Just
I know.
Did you pull the bike? Did you pull the bike off him?
Come talk to
okay.
him.
That's
Did you pull the bike off him?
I did not.
Okay. You just told me you
It has
did.
nothing to do with me.
Okay, you're free to leave.
Yeah, you're free to leave.
Confirming Mr. Sal's innocence. Paramedics on the scene examined Mr. Sal and recommended his immediate transfer to the hospital. He later underwent shoulder replacement surgery and experienced persistent pain.
What's his name?
Preston.
Preston what? You got ID on your boss? I'm gonna need an ID now. Okay. 177. I got an uncooperative witness. Come on over here.
Right.
I need to talk to you.
Constitutional right. No.
I need to
I don't
talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
You have to talk
I don't want
to
to
me.
talk. No, I don't.
Following the incident, Mr. Sal filed a lawsuit against the officers involved, alleging violations of his constitutional rights. The City of Loveland acknowledged that Officer Ash had violated department policies, but did not disclose any disciplinary actions taken against the officers.
I don't have to talk to anybody.
Okay, either
I
you're
don't
gonna
have to
sit
talk to
here and
anybody.
talk to me,
No.
we'll just have a short
No,
conversation,
No.
or I'm gonna
I
arrest
don't
you
have
for
to.
obstruction.
No, you're not. I'm not obstructing
You
anything. You're right here.
Okay.
I'm not obstructing that.
Sir, yourself, you need to talk to me.
I don't
You're
need to talk to
obstructing
you.
an investigation.
I'm not obstructing
You are
anything.
under arrest for obstruction.
I'm
and
not
for
obstructing.
resisting.
I want to talk to your fucking supervisor.
Here?
Yeah.
I need statements from the guy in the blue plaid shirt,
Okay.
the guy in the black Eagles thing.
Okay.
He was the one who moved his bike over there, or was moving
Okay,
it.
the Eagles jersey moved it over there.
Yep.
Okay. Ambulance ain't taking me? Nope. Since you're in custody, you're gonna go with me. Okay?
Well, I don't know why I'm in custody,
Well,
but
so here's what we're gonna do, okay?
I'm not
Okay.
going anywhere.
Perfect. So let me explain to you what we're gonna do, okay?
Good. My shoulder's fucked up. There's no reason that out.
Slammed to the ground.
That's all I know.
So let me explain to you what we're gonna do, okay?
Good. My shoulder's fucked up. There's no reason that out.
Slammed to the ground.
That's all I know.
In January 2021, Mr. Al's excessive force lawsuit was settled for $290,000. However, no recorded action was reported against the officers involved, and the city stated that the settlement did not imply an admission of guilt. This case highlights the unjust arrest and excessive force used against an innocent individual who was simply trying to help a crash victim. Despite the lawsuit settlement, questions remain regarding the accountability and disciplinary measures for the officers involved in the incident. Now let's move on to our next case. In this case, a man was arrested for wearing his motorcycle helmet inside a Walmart store, leading to a subsequent lawsuit. On August 6, 2019, Freedom Christopher Fandler rode his motorcycle to a Walmart in Sahuarita, Arizona. He entered the store without removing his helmet and was listening to music through wireless headphones. A store manager attempted to get his attention but failed. The manager then called 911, considering Mr. Fandler's behavior suspicious. Meanwhile, Mr. Fandler continued shopping and was approached by 3 officers from the Sahuarita Police Department. They demanded his ID without explaining the situation. Initially, Mr. Fandler didn't respond due to his earphones, but he eventually complied. He provided his ID and asked the officers what was happening. The officers claimed that the store manager had asked Mr. Fandler to remove his helmet, which he allegedly ignored. Mr. Fandler explained he kept his helmet on for convenience and provided proof of his purchases with a receipt. While reviewing CCTV footage, it became evident that the store's manager claims were inaccurate. He had approached Mr. Fandler only twice and from a distance, contradicting his earlier assertions.
Hey, bud, you got an ID on you?
Nevertheless, Officer John George confronted Mr. Fandler in an unnecessary aggressive manner, threatening him and violating his First Amendment right to free speech.
Yeah, man. Takes an helmet off while you're walking around in the store and you're just ignoring him.
Do me a favor, take your helmet off. You're not going to speak with us with your helmet on.
Okay. Take your helmet off. Well, yeah.
Sorry? Would you make a purchase?
Yeah. That's fine.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, everything, man. Yeah.
Mr. Fandler chose to remain silent after Officer George's behavior.
So he said that he had music playing in his helmet.
I walked right up to the right up top of it right now. Stood right there.
Okay. So did you see the manager basically walk up right to your face and ask you to take off your helmet? How did you not see that?
I saw him talking, but he's got a headset on.
Standing right next to you. Right next to you. I came up and I said, sir,
I thought you were going this way. I didn't hear you.
I said, stop. I followed you halfway throughout the store.
Let me ask you something. What's the purpose of keeping the helmet on?
It's just faster to get to work, man. Like I said, I'm going to work.
Where you work at?
Work at Jim Click. Right
Okay. So you walk through the store, what'd you buy?
I bought a sandwich, a Gatorade, 2 peaches, a scrubber, 4 pens, a toothbrush.
Despite his silence, the officers and store manager continued questioning Mr. Fandler. Eventually, the officers arrested him for disorderly conduct, and he was detained for over 17 hours before the charges were dropped.
So you keep the helmet on, you walk around,
I do that
grab
at
all
the
this
Safeway,
stuff.
I go to the other Safeway, I go Fry's. Except for when I go to the bank, I've never had any issues where it was like take it off or a sign saying that you need to have it off. And like I said,
that's why the manager asked you to take it off.
Like I said, I didn't hear him. I had music playing throughout the street.
You didn't see him standing right in front of you.
I saw you there, and then I saw you talk. But like again, you have a headset on, so
I can't put my hands on you to get your attention. I'm standing right next to you.
I didn't.
Just like I'm standing here with the officer.
From next to me.
I stood right in front of you, just like I'm standing here. I said, I need you to stop and listen to me. You totally ignored me and kept walking.
Mr. Fandler filed a lawsuit against the Sahuarita Police Department, alleging illegal search, false arrest, malicious prosecution, and defamation. Initially, Mr. Fandler offered to settle the case for $250,000, which was rejected.
Stop this now, okay?
You're an argumentative person, and I'm not the person you want to argue with. You need to take a stand and you need to go like this and pull your head out of your ass, okay? Because you're walking around in a store hiding your face. There's shooters that go on all over the place. This man comes up to you and you want to play. You got a little Senna headpiece going on that you can't stop. You need to listen to learn, not listen to reply. You need to turn that little switch off in your brain that you want to run your mouth and argue every time somebody tells you something. Because this is disturbing the peace. You can go to jail and not go to work. So what's the choice you're going to make, hardhead?
The town of Sahuarita and the police department denied any wrongdoing and planned to dismiss the lawsuit.
You gonna quit walking around businesses with a helmet on, scaring the hell out of people to where you got massive cops all over the place, rifles outside waiting for a shooter to come out? Laugh. Yeah. But that's where we're at. So pull your head out of your ass and quit arguing every time somebody tells you something.
I'm
telling you, look at what you're doing. You keep wanting to argue with me. I'm not the guy you want to argue with.
Wasn't trying to argue.
That's why you keep talking. Stop talking.
Okay, fine. So.
Officer George was later fired for unrelated reasons. However, Mr. Fandler's attorney refiled the lawsuit, aiming to obtain justice and rectify this practice.
Okay, so officially being trespassed from the store, don't come back to Walmart. Come back to Walmart, manager, anyone sees you, you get arrested for that. How many times did you ask him to leave?
At least. It's like he's ignoring you. I walk half the store with him, following him right to the side to ask him. I told many times that officers were coming out. This guy walked on. I would say so. I'd say there's a pressure. Why not? So, especially the current behavior. You're asking about all the keys in the store? 5 to 6 times. Walk right next to him, just like we're watching right now.
You're under arrest for trespassing. You were told to leave the store, and you didn't want to cooperate. Take my jacket off? Nope, I want you to leave your jacket on.
As of the present, the outcome of the lawsuit is still pending. The case highlights the infringement of Mr. Fandler's rights and the potential consequences of false arrest based on misunderstandings.